Good morning, everybody. Here we go. So come on and sit down on the mat. And with your knees bent, just roll back onto your back, but leave your knees upward. And some of you have a block. I hope most of you have a block. Put your feet down on the mat, lift your hips up, put the block underneath your sit bones. Actually, Margot has reminded me that it's not really our sit bones, it's our sacrum. So put your block underneath your lower part of your torso, and then lift your feet up toward the ceiling. And if you notice that it takes some abdominal strength to get your feet up there, put your feet back down and adjust the block a little bit. Sometimes I think it works for me to move the block just a little bit higher, and then you can sort of get a balance point so that your feet can be upward and it doesn't take a lot of your strength to hold them up there. So gaze up at your toes and spread your toes really wide. Make the insides of your feet parallel with each other, and then pull your toes back toward your knee. Let yourself become aware of your calf and your Achilles when you pull your toes back toward your knees. Just a little awareness of what that feels like. A little inversion to get some blood up toward our cerebral area, our brain. Good job. Bend both knees and put your feet back toward the mat. Lift your hips up and pull the block out. Lower your hips back down to the mat, and then raise both feet up toward the ceiling again. This time, it takes some abdominal strength to do that. Allow your left leg to move down toward the mat, and try to keep your right leg up toward the ceiling. And then just keep your right leg up toward the ceiling. And as we sort of begin this practice, become aware of your breath. Lift your left leg up to meet your right, and then lower your right leg down to the mat. And then let your focus come back to your breath as you keep your left leg upward any amount. Maybe you could reestablish the toes back toward your knee. Lift your right leg up to meet your left, and lower your left leg down to the mat. This is waking up our abdomen. It's for those of you that are in cold climates, maybe this will warm us up a little bit. Lift your left leg up to meet your right, and then lower your right leg down to the mat. Remember to pull your toes back toward your knees. You can still do that on your lower leg as well. Let your right leg move up to meet your left, and then bend both knees and put your feet back on the mat. Let your knees sort of sway to the right-hand side, and then to the left-hand side. Bring your arms to a cactus type position and move your knees back to the right side. And then back to the left side. Take your hands and raise them, stretch them out above your head, and move your knees to the right side and back to the left side. Move your knees back up toward the ceiling and bend your knees toward your torso, or bring your knees toward your torso. Grab a hold of your knees with your hands and give yourself a hug. Give yourself a nice little squeeze, make yourself into a tiny little ball. And then let go of your knees. Move your knees about, a foot apart. Make a fist with both hands. Put your hands in between your knees and then squeeze your knees together. Maybe you'll get a little release, a little pelvic adjustment. And then let go of your hands and move your hands to the outside of your knees. Push your knees to the outside and hold your knees in with your hands. Let's do that one more time on each. Make a fist, double fist. Put your fists side by side and squeeze your knees together. So your fists are in between your knees, maybe like 3 seconds of a squeeze. And then with open palms, hold the outside of your knees Push your knees to the outside, hold them in with your hands. Awesome. Move your feet back down to the mat, roll like a log onto the side. Push yourself up and come to a tabletop on your mat. Hands and knees. Your knees right underneath your hips, hands right underneath your shoulders. For those with sore knees, you could actually fold your mat over and get a double thickness. Maybe protect your knees just a little bit. Let your belly sag down and raise your gaze upward a little bit, cow pose. Push the middle of your back up toward the ceiling, let your head drop down, cat pose. Now take an inhale breath as you do cow. Exhale, push the middle up, cat pose. One more inhale and one more exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bring yourself back to neutral. Tuck your toes under. Push yourself up, downwards facing dog. Bend your knees a whole bunch to get started. And then begin to straighten your knees. Let your ankles and heels move down to the mat or closer to the mat. Bend your left knee and leave your right foot on the mat. Now you can begin to stretch your Achilles tendon just a little bit more. Bend your right knee and let your left foot move downward. Give your Achilles a little stretch. And then just come to a neutral position. Take an inhale and look to the top. As you exhale, slowly this time walk your feet up to meet your hands and then toe heel your feet so that they're almost as wide as the mat. Grab opposite elbow with opposite hand. Let yourself hang in a standing forward fold. Maybe swing your torso a little bit to the left and a little bit to the right. Take your head and sort of give it a yes, and give it a no. And then drop your hands down to the mat, spider fingertips, knees bent any amount, and toe heel your feet so that they're hip distance apart now. Inhale, halfway lift, your hands move to your shins, gaze still straight down to the mat. Exhale, standing forward fold. Inhale, push into the floor, raise your hands above your head. Exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. With your hands at heart center, lift your shoulder heads up to your ears, push them really far backward, and then drop your shoulders down. Drop your hands down to your side. We're going to do the Durga kriya. I don't think that's really what it's called, but that's what I'm calling it. So it's 3 inhale breaths in a row through your nose. So no exhale in between. When you get to the top on the third one, exhale out your nose and make your exhale as long as you possibly can. We're going to move our arms at the same time. So here we go. Inhale, move your arms in front of you. Another inhale. Inhale to the top. Exhale, shake your arms to the ground. Inhale for a third. Inhale another third. Inhale to the top. Exhale, shake your hands down a little faster now. Inhale, 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 exhale. Inhale, hands in front. Open up above your head. Exhale it out. Inhale, inhale, above your head. Exhale. Inhale, open up above your head. Exhale it out. Inhale in front. Inhale again. Inhale to the top. Exhale it out. Inhale, open up. Inhale, exhale it out. One more time. Yeah. Open up above your head. Exhale it out. And come back to a standing position. Let your hands be at your side with your palms facing forward. Soften your gaze. I'll be quiet. Check in. Notice how you're feeling. Good job. All right, we're waking up a bit here. Inhale, raise your hands above your head. Exhale, standing forward fold. Bend forward at the waist. Bend your knees a bunch if you need to. Spider fingertips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step both feet back. High plank pose. Take an inhale breath here. Exhale, lower yourself to the mat. Point your toes. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, lower back down. 2 more cobras. But this time, bend your right knee. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower down. Straighten your right knee. Now bend your left knee. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower yourself down. Tuck your toes under. Come through tabletop or high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look to the top of the mat. As you exhale, walk, or this time maybe jump your feet to meet your hands. Inhale, halfway lift your hands to your shins, gaze down. Exhale, standing forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Raise your hands above your head. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Drop your hands down to your waist. Bring your hands to a clasp behind your back. We did a bunch of this, I think, in our last practice. Lift your shoulder heads up to your ears and move your shoulders backward. Feel your sternum move forward. You can take your hands and move them away from your sit bones, away from your hips, and then just tuck your chin in just a bit so your head goes right over your shoulders. Good job. Inhale, raise your hands above your head. Exhale, standing forward fold, bend forward at the waist. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to your shins. Exhale, step both feet back, high plank pose. Inhale at the top of your plank. Exhale, lower down to the mat. Point your toes. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, lower down. Bend your right knee. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, lower down. Bend your left knee. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, lower down. Tuck your toes under. Come through tabletop or high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up and back behind you. Exhale, bring your right foot to your right hand. High crescent lunge. Your front knee is bent, your torso moves upward, your back heel is upward. And then raise your hands above your head. Take an inhale breath. Exhale, bring your hands to a goal post or cactus. Inhale, raise your hands above your head again. Exhale, bring your arms to a goal post or cactus one more time. Inhale, hands above your head. As you exhale, this time bring your right hand backward and your left hand forward. Standing twist. Just an easy twist. Maybe let your gaze go to the right hand side. Inhale, raise your hands above your head. Exhale, bring your hands down and bring your front foot. Step your right foot back to meet your left, and then take a big inhale. Exhale, lower to the mat. Point your toes. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, lower down. Bend your right leg. Inhale, cobra pose again. Exhale, downward. Bend your left leg. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, lower to the mat. Tuck your toes under, come through tabletop, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up and back behind you. Exhale your left foot to your left hand. High crescent lunge. Front knee bent, back heel up. Inhale, raise your hands above your head. Exhale, bring your arms to a cactus pose. Inhale, raise your arms upward again. Exhale, bring your arms to a cactus. One more time. Inhale. And exhale to a cactus pose. Bring your left hand backward and your right hand forward. Find yourself in a standing twist. Front knee's bent. Maybe lower your front knee just a little bit more. Continue to breathe. Inhale, bring your hands above your head. Exhale, bring your hands down to frame your front foot. Step your left foot back to meet your right. Big inhale breath. Exhale, down to the mat. Point your toes, inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, lower down. Bend your right knee. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, lower it down. Bend your left knee. Inhale, cobra pose again. Exhale down to the mat. Push yourself up to a tabletop position. And then if it works for you, just lower your hips down to your heels. If you know your knees don't like bending like that, which is totally reasonable, and you have to be careful of your knees, you can sit on a block. You could put the block on the high setting and you won't be stressing your knees nearly as much. Good job. Keep your left hand on your thigh, your right hand in front of your face with the palm facing toward you. Fold down your first two fingers. Your thumb and ring finger still point upward. Cover your right nostril with your thumb and inhale through your nose. Switch to your ring finger and exhale it out. Don't switch and inhale. And switch back to the thumb and exhale out through your nose. Don't switch, inhale. Switch to the ring finger and exhale it all out of there. Don't switch, inhale. Switch back to the thumb and let it go through your nose. Drop both hands down to your upper legs. Soften your gaze. I'll be quiet for a second. Check in. Just notice how you're doing today. Awesome job. Remove the block. Come up onto your knees. Tuck your toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog. I'll give everybody a second to get there. Good job. Inhale, look to the top of the mat. As you exhale, walk or jump your feet up to meet your hands. Bring your big toes to touch and your heels just slightly apart. Bend your knees a bunch. Chair pose, Utkatasana. So your knees are bent a whole bunch. Your toes may be together. You can easily do this with your feet separated hip distance apart. I like to push my knees together for support. And then raise your hands above your head. See if you can lift your toes off the mat. That will bring you back toward your heels a little bit better position in chair pose. Push into your feet, raise your hands above your head. Exhale, bring your hands down to your heart center. Good job. Inhale, raise your hands above your head again. Exhale, standing forward, fold, bend forward, voice. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your right foot back, warrior one feet. So your right foot's at 45 behind you, your front knee is bent and front leg facing only forward. Bring your hands to your hips. Push your right hip forward and your left hip backward so your hips are squared to the front of your mat. Inhale, raise your hands above your head. Exhale, bring your arms to a goalpost. Inhale, raise your arms above your head. Exhale, goalpost or cactus your arms. One more time. Inhale. As you exhale, bring your left arm back and your right arm forward, standing twist. See if you can bend your front knee just a little bit more. Be careful of yourself. This is sort of a vulnerable position. Inhale, raise your hands above your head. Exhale, bring your hands down to frame your front foot. Step your left foot back to meet your right. Step your right foot forward. Warrior one feet. Your back foot comes down to the mat, 45 toward the front of the mat. Bend your front knee. Bring your hands to your hips. Push your left hip forward and right hip back, squaring our hips to the front. Inhale, raise your hands above your head. Exhale, cactus your arms. Inhale, raise them up again. Exhale, cactus. And one more time, upward. And this time, exhale, your right arm goes backward and your left arm goes forward. Maybe you gaze off to the right-hand side. Again, be careful, don't over twist, don't overstress your body. Inhale, raise your hands above your head. Exhale, bring your hands down, bring your front foot. Step your right foot back to meet your left. Find yourself in a high plank pose. And then just lower yourself down to the mat. Point your toes. Bring your hands to clasp behind your back. Take an inhale breath and raise your head and your shoulders off the mat. That same position that we did standing a few minutes ago, where our shoulders move backward. And then lower your head and your shoulders to the mat. Switch the grips of your hands, your grip on your hands, and lift your head and your shoulders backward. Maybe your gripped hands behind your back are lifted off your sit bones, off your hips. Take a breath or two as you lift. Lower yourself to the mat. Turn your head to the left with your right ear on the mat. Just notice a stretch on your neck. If this is too much for you, remember not to do anything that causes you pain when you practice yoga. The idea is to focus on the connection between our brain and our body, and you don't want to have to focus on the pain. Bring your chin to the mat and turn your head to the right. Your left ear goes on to the mat. Take a couple of breaths. See if you can use the breath to control your nervous system when you're doing a big stretch on your neck. Bring your chin back to the mat. Your hands move to your shoulders. Push yourself up to a tabletop. Bring your knees wide and your big toes to touch. Let your hips move down toward your heels, child's pose. Reach your hands upward on your mat or toward the front of your mat. I like to reach as far as I can. And when I do that, my elbows actually come off the mat. So let's take a couple of breaths together in child's pose. Inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, let all the air out. Inhale through your nose again. Open your mouth and let all the air out. And one more time. Inhale. Exhale out your mouth. The next voice you hear will be Margot.
Good morning, everyone. So drag yourself forward. Knees can stay wide. Step your hands wide and forward. We're going to do wide-armed puppy pose. So your hips are approximately in line with or over your thighs, and you're going to reach forward. The target is to put your forehead on the mat. I'm not really sure my forehead's going to the mat. You're opening your chest, lots of pressure into the heels of your hands. Thank goodness for sticky mats. If you're sliding away from your mat, you can grab the top of your mat with your fingers. One more breath here. And then walk your hands back. Find your way to all fours. Tuck your toes, press back into down dog. Inhale your right leg behind you. Step it forward behind the right hand. Keep the left heel up. High crescent lunge. Inhale your torso to come up vertical. Arms come up overhead and then clasp them together behind your head. And if you're like me, and today is not presenting itself as a really balanced day, you might have just stepped right out of your crescent. Right foot forward, right knee bent, left heel is up. You choose the length of your crescent and draw your elbows forward so that you can see them in your vision. Push your head back into your hands. Push back. Soft gaze. Maybe your gaze is up now where the ceiling and the wall meet. Release your hands. Exhale. Step back. Find your way to all fours or to plank. And lower down. All the way down. Inhale up into cobra. Lower right back down from your cobra. Tuck your toes. Push back. Find your way to down dog. Inhale the left leg behind you, left foot forward, behind the left hand. Find an inhale breath to bring you up. Arms come overhead. Weave your fingers together, place your hands behind your head, draw your elbows forward, and then press your hands back. Do a little quick inventory of the sensation in your body. Release your hands, hands down, step back, come to all fours. Left hand stays on the mat, right arm opens up to the right. Exhale your hand down, right hand down, left hand opens up to the left. I am blinded by the light of the sun, that is amazing. Tuck your toes, press back into down dog. Inhale the right leg behind you. Right foot forward, rise up into crescent. Inhale, arms overhead. Because there's a little familiarity, you might notice a different sensation. Clasp your hands, place your head in your hands. Elbows are forward, lean back. Maybe there's space to monitor and adjust your breathing. Release your hands. We're going to do that open twist here. Left hand down. I really like a block here. Right arm up, open up to the right. And then exhale, both hands down, step back, plank. Lower all the way down. This time, release your hands to your sides. Lift up into locust, free hands. And exhale down. Press back. Find your way to down dog. And then inhale, left leg high, no rush. Left foot behind the left hand. Rise up into crescent. Arms overhead first, reaching. Then clasp your hands. Elbows forward, hands behind your head. Lean back. Be as daring as you wish. One more full breath cycle here. Release your hands, right hand down, fingertips to the mat or to a block. Open up to the left side. Gaze follows your hand. And then both hands down. Step back. Drop your knees to the mat. We're going to do puppy pose again. Reach your hands forward. This time, stack them one on top of the other. And again, the goal in puppy pose is to keep your hips up and try to bring your forehead, maybe your nose or chin, even your chest to the mat. Your arms stay up, so your head drops down between your arms. I'm sure there's some shoulder sensation here. Push into your hands, walk them back. Put a block right under your seat. Sit back on your knees. We have to do the other side, but we're going to take just a moment here. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Super empty. Inhale for 4, 2, 3, 4. And exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Remove that block if you were leaning on it. Puppy pose. Oh dear, I can't remember which hand was on top. So switch your hands. Arms are straight in front of you. Your head's going to dive right between your upper arms. Hips are up. Shoulders are getting some extension and some rotation. Push into the heel of your hand. Walk your hands back. Find your way to down dog. Big inhale breath here. And an open mouth exhale. On the inhale, raise your gaze to look between your hands, maybe bend your knees deeply. On the exhale, at the bottom of the exhale, feet to hands. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up, arms overhead. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Drop your hands. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, float your spine long. Exhale, left foot back, left knee down. Inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale, hands down, step back to plank. Lower all the way down, elbows down, hands interlace, come to Sphinx. Drag the heels of your elbows towards your hip bones. Tuck your toes, come up into forearm plank. And then if you like, step forward, lift your hips, come to dolphin. Dolphin is a short down dog on your forearms. Notice your breathing. Step out of dolphin, so lengthen yourself, forearm plank, come down, lift your heart into Sphinx. Hands by your ribs, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg, left foot behind the left hand, right knee down. Uncurl the toes and then lift your torso vertical, arms overhead. Reach back as far as you wish. Exhale, hands down, tuck the back toes and step forward. Inhale halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Push into your feet. Inhale. Torso up, fingers up, gaze up, hands come to prayer. Drop your hands. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fingertips down, right leg back, right knee down, uncurl the toes. Inhale, chest up, arms up. Exhale, hands down, step back to plank. Lower all the way down. Release your hands behind you, locust with interlaced fingers. On an inhale, lift up into locust and try to pull your hands apart. Exhale down. Hands by your ribs, push away from the mat, back to down dog. Inhale the right leg. Right leg behind your right hand. Put the left knee down. You could see a moment of indecision there. Arms overhead. It happens to all of us. Exhale. Hands down. Tuck the left toes. Step forward. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Pushing into your feet. Come all the way up. Look up. And then hands come to your heart. Drop your hands. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, both feet back, come to plank. Lower all the way down. Reach your hands behind you, clasp them together. Before you lift up into locust, roll onto your left side, side lying locust. So you might wobble here. I am wobbling. Try to reach your fist away from your sacrum. Pull your hands apart. Maybe turn your gaze up. Roll back onto your belly, and we're going to come to Sphinx. Elbows under shoulders, hands clasped. Drag the elbow points towards your hip points. Lift your heart. And then exhale, back down. Clasp your hands behind you. You can change the weave if you like and roll onto the right side. If you need to help yourself to roll onto the side, release your hands and then reclasp them. If straight legs don't serve you, or like me, I'm right on the edge of the mat, which makes it a little uneven. Look up. Use your shoulder strength to pull your hands away from each other while still clasped. Roll back onto your belly. Hands by your ribs, push away from the mat. Find your way to down dog. Raise your gaze, feet to hands on the exhale breath. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Push into your feet, come all the way up, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to your side. Stand into the right leg, hug all muscle to bone. Be able to lift your toes. Remember to suck your arch of your foot upwards. And stand on the right leg, lift the left. Reach for your left shin. See if you can find Flamingo, which is just a one-legged standing pose, left hand holding left wrist. Soft gaze, steady breath. Spine just a little taller. Release that left foot, step into the left foot. Hug muscle to bone, hug the arch up. Pick up your right leg. I have to pick up my legs so my thighs in front of me, glide my hand down the shin, and then reposition the leg so the thighs are parallel with each other, right kneecap pointed down. Flamingo. Are you breathing? Release your foot, stand into both feet, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthening the spine. See if you can keep that. Both hands plant, come back to plank. Lower all the way down. Reach your left hand for your left shin. If you can, reach for your foot. You can walk your hand around. Hand maybe on the outside of the foot is an option. And then with your right hand, push into side lying half bow. Reach your right hand down, find your right foot. So we're doing bow today on our side. So maybe you have both hands on both feet, lying on your side. Your head is floating above the mat. You've got so much strength. Release one or both feet. Roll back to center. Press up into all fours. We're going to do cat and cow here. How simple could that be? First cow, lift your heart. And then exhale, really push your spine away. We're going to roll to the right, so you might need to make a few adjustments. Lower yourself all the way down, release your hands. Find your right ankle, find your right foot. Pass your foot around so you've got your right hand on the outside of your right foot. Roll to the side, and then grab for your left foot. I'm giving you the Margot version of getting into this posture. Some people can go from bow and just roll straight back onto their side, like Mr. Ned. Are you breathing? Are you laughing? You could be laughing at yourself.
I'm laughing at us.
Yes, or laughing at us, Ned said. Okay, release any way you'd like. Find your way onto your belly. Place your hands near your ribs. Push back. Sink down into child's pose. And then drag yourself right out of child's pose. Make your way to bridge. We're not done yet. Don't get sleepy. So the flat of your feet on the floor, lower down with some deliberation. Draw your heels closer to your sitting bones. Today, press your elbows hard into the mat. Lift up your hips. And then place your hands so you can grab your mat. You can even roll it up a little bit and roll your wrists as far as you can to the outside. You're trying to put the back of your hand down on the mat. Try to pull the mat apart. Hips are still up in bridge. Breath is moving steadily, even cadence, as much attention to the in-breath as the out-breath. Release the mat, lower your hips down. And with your hands behind your thighs, rock up to a seat. This might be a spot to sit on a block. If you're just dying to do side bow again, definitely give it another try. We only went through it the one time on each side, but we're going to do something else. Reach your arms wide. Right arm under left. Eagle arms. Wrap up your hands. Lift your elbows. Really hug your forearms together. And then tilt your hands to the right. Notice the sensation on the back of your body. Release your hands. Right hand down, left hand up. Left hand reaches over. And then place your left hand right on the top of your head. Maybe put a finger in your ear. Release all that, push up to vertical. Left arm under right, eagle arms. Hug those forearms together, palms are gripping, and push your elbow tips up and away. And then tilt your fingertips to the left. Release your hands. Left hand down, away from the body. Right hand up overhead. Reach the right arm to the right. And then for just a different sensation, right hand on top of the head, fingers in the ear, still opening the right side body. Inhale, torso vertical. Arms reach out in front of you, clasp your hands together, Push your palms away, round your spine, and lean forward. So you are pushing your spine to the back of the mat. Gaze is down towards the top of your mat. Let your hands descend to your lap. Sit up tall, hands to your thighs. Drop your chin. Inhale, scribe your chin towards your right shoulder. Exhale, drop your chin back to center. Inhale, scribe your chin towards your left shoulder. Exhale, reverse the process, chin to your chest. Inhale, lift your head, place your hands in a basket behind your head, elbows are forward. Push your head backwards. Lean back as much as you like. And then exhale, bow forward, reach your fingertips forward on the mat. Remove the block if you're sitting on one. Again, with deliberation, the flat of your feet on the mat. Lower yourself all the way down. Hug the right knee into your chest. Reach your left leg long. You can put your heel down or have it hover. Flex and point your toes. One more breath cycle here. And then switch legs. So hug the left shin, draw the knee towards your armpit, reach the right leg long. Feel the tension of the skin on the arches of your feet, the tops of your feet. Bring that right knee in so it matches up with the left. Hug shins in, thighs towards your chest. Big inhale breath. Exhale into Savasana. Heels wide, feet open out to the side. Push your upper arms into the mat. Tuck your shoulder blades together. Hands to the side. Heavy face, heavy jaw, space between your teeth. Heavy eyeballs. Safe, quiet. Invigorate your whole body with a big inhale breath. You can try an open mouth exhale if you wish, a big sigh. Arms overhead, reach between toes and fingertips. When you're ready, draw your heels towards your sitting bones and roll over onto whichever side is comfortable. Use your hands to gently press up. Find your way to a seat. Palms to touch, thumbs to your sternum. Big inhale breath. Thumbs to your forehead, exhaling, namaste. Hope the sun comes out and shines on you wherever you are, even if it's a cloudy, snowy day. It's still there. Have a great day.